Oh no, I dropped my pencil.
Oh, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, this is gonna work out just fine. Excuse me.
In today's summary, Peter finds himself in trouble when his boss, Angela, starts harassing him at work. Desperate not to get fired, he asks for help from his friend Quagmire. Check out what Peter will do to deal with this situation.
Oh, just one more thing before you go.
What's that, my dear?
See you at work on Monday, Griffin.
Huh?
The episode begins with Peter trying to be a roving reporter while recording various scenes of Stewie and what he does in the morning with his professional camera. Peter bombards him with questions, and Stewie starts fleeing from his father until he crashes his tricycle and then calls for help. Peter won't help him, saying he's too busy working. Unsatisfied, Peter goes to film Tom Tucker and bombards him with questions, and in the end, even cracks a joke.
Are you gay? Someone said you were gay. It was me. Are the rumors I'm making up true? Ignore me if you're gay.
Adam West is also approached, and finally Williams, who is fed up with Peter's abusive questions, punches the camera lens Peter is holding. Then, Lois appears to tell Peter that the repair shop couldn't fix his camera, and while she does that, she also organizes and tidies up the clothes in the room. Peter gets upset and says that just because of this, he won't take her to Cancun. Lois then responds saying she doesn't care much about that possible trip because she's traveled to that place several times before. After that, at the brewery, while watching television in his office, Peter is surprised by the presence of his boss Angela, who quickly notices a difference in his appearance. Peter explains that he's without glasses because his broke, so he's wearing contacts now. Angela is enchanted by this and says his eyes and eyelashes are beautiful. Next, she begins to imagine Peter swimming like a mermaid in a fountain, posing naked, and then blowing a dandelion while a dolphin appears underneath him. Together, they start doing some acrobatics and become friends. To finish their show with his new friend, Peter makes a majestic leap and perfectly dives into the sea. The dolphin and Peter celebrate that unique moment together. After these thoughts, she wakes up from this dream and thinks of a way to observe Peter better, so she takes advantage of the moment to set a trap with a pencil so that Peter bends down to pick it up, allowing her to get a better look at his body.
Oh no, I dropped my pencil.
Oh, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, this is gonna work out just fine. Excuse me.
Peter comes home and shares with his family that he was harassed by his boss at work. Lois initially doesn't believe that a woman can harass a man, suggesting that men like to be touched, and therefore it couldn't be considered abuse. Peter counters, stating that he didn't like the situation. At that moment, Meg takes the opportunity to share her own experience, revealing that her chemistry teacher massaged her breasts while she was breathless during class. Lois then explains to Peter that what happened to Meg is indeed harassment. Meg feels bad and horrified, and Lois concludes that such a situation will never happen to Peter to a similar extent. Shortly after, Peter shows up wearing a new uniform for work that Angela had suggested he wear. Peter asks why he's the only employee wearing it. Angela responds by saying that he's the only one who looks good in it. Then, she bribes Peter to get a cold soda from her vending machine and warns that if Peter doesn't go, he'll lose his job. After that, she orders Peter to put that can around his neck to cool off, and then tells him to leave as soon as possible, or things could get worse. Later, still at the brewery, Peter sees a note pinned to the wall of his office telling him to put his hand in that hole. Peter dares to put his hand in there, even though he's scared, and afterwards, he even jokes that he hopes it's a hungry horse on the other side of the hole.
Oh. Oh, God. I really hope there's a hungry horse back there.
Then, Lois's phone rings, and she answers. On the other end is Angela looking for Peter. Lois lets him know that his boss wants to talk to him, but he tells Lois that he's not in the mood to talk to her. Still, because Lois is putting him in a tight spot, he takes the phone from her hand and continues the call. Angela tells Peter to start breathing deeply into the phone so she can hear him better. So, Peter has the brilliant idea to go to Krista's room and put the phone next to his right ear. Now at the Drunken Clam, Peter tells his friends Quagmire and Joe that he's being pursued by his boss. Quagmire tries to give some advice, but Peter feels even more desperate and admits he doesn't know what to do to avoid getting fired. Then, Quagmire says he has a solution to help Peter. So, they were in Angela's backyard at night, and Quagmire tells Peter that what he's about to do is part of the plan. Then, Peter rings the doorbell, and Angela welcomes him kindly. Inside the house, Peter asks Angela to make love with him, but with one condition, that he would only take off his bottom half and not the entire outfit. Without hesitation, she agrees, and Quagmire, who is peeking through one of Peter's shirt buttons, gets disgusted when he finds out it's Angela. Shortly after, Angela suggests they go to the bedroom, leading Peter there. But on the way, Quagmire starts arguing and then fighting with Peter because he wanted to abort the mission at the last minute. Then Angela realizes all this confusion with Peter's body and then realizes it was Quagmire inside them. So, she's surprised to hear the truth from Quagmire. He tells her she's an ugly cow and would never fulfill Peter's agreement. Then he leaves.
Thank you so much for having me in your home. And I would have had sex with you, but Peter neglected to tell me that you are a complete dumpster fire. Some friend, huh? Okay, all right, take it easy.
Then she gets furious after that and says she's tired of all Peter's stalling, warning him that if he doesn't make love to her, he'll be fired for good. But Peter says he's even more tired of being harassed and then asks for his own resignation and leaves her house as well. After all that, Peter shows up again at the bar, asking for more tall beers from the bartender. The bartender takes the opportunity to crack some jokes about Peter being fired by his boss. While everyone around laughs at the situation, Peter starts watching a TV series about a chauvinistic guy, and even though he's a character in the series, he questions whether he would really be fired from his job by a woman. Peter doesn't quite believe he's talking to the TV, but decides to respond that he'll handle the situation on his own. After that, he demands his car keys from the bartender, who promptly hands them over. Arriving at Angela's house, Peter nervously asks her to open the door quickly, but he realizes she's trying to get sick on purpose with the car fumes. Peter shows up there to help her out. He takes her to the living room couch, and she immediately wakes up. When she realizes she's being rescued by Peter, she takes the opportunity to confide in him that she just wants to find a guy who fulfills her deepest desires and that she feels really bad for not having anyone by her side for 10 years. Peter finds the perfect solution and suggests to her an invitation to dinner with a guy he will personally invite to meet her. After Angela accepted the invitation, she waited for the man Peter was about to invite to go out with her. And then, that person was Peter himself, but dressed up as an important billionaire from New York. He appears next to the table where Angela was sitting, reading the menu. He says he's the person she's been waiting for and starts kissing her, saying sweet words to her.
You must be Angela.
Hi, are you Peter's friend, Reginald?
Indeed I am.
Angela starts to really like what she's hearing, but asks for a moment to go to the bathroom to touch up her makeup. Peter takes this moment to celebrate that his plan is unfolding just as he imagined. When they return to Angela's house, Peter thanks her for the wonderful dinner. Angela invites him for dessert, which would be herself, and Peter is disgusted to hear that. Then, he says he needs to tell her something, that he found out from his doctor that he only has 24 hours left to live and that he wanted to spend his last moments with the woman he loved trying to leave. Angela stops him and says that before he leaves her house, they would have to make love. Peter replies that he would rather leave, and Angela becomes sad and angry to learn that he is just another guy rejecting her. In a last attempt to convince Peter, she says he could save her life if they had a romantic relationship just once. And then Angela appears, saying that her night was wonderful and that she has regained the confidence to meet new guys. Peter is glad to have been of help to her. Before Peter leaves, Angela says she'll see him literally on Monday at work, leaving him surprised to find out that she knew all along about his disguise.
Oh, just one more thing before you go.
What's that, my dear?
See you at work on Monday, Griffin.
Huh? Oh, I'm gonna have to have a word with Rite Aid about this fake mustache.
Later, Peter goes to the bar to tell Quagmire and Joe that he got his job back and that Angela was happy again, wouldn't harass him anymore. Quagmire says it wasn't really that great, and Joe points out that Peter cheated on Lois, which wasn't cool of him. Peter defends himself, saying he didn't cheat because he used Mort in his place.
No, I didn't. I used Mort. Oh my God, I forgot about Mort.
I want my $2.